So, if you are planning for a graduate study in North America or some other top school in Europe or Australia, one obvious question that you are going to face: which test you should give, GMAT or GRE? How one test is different from the other? What are the books and prep material that you should follow? And what are the best strategies out there to crack the exam? In this video, I am going to answer all of these questions. I am also adding a Google Drive link that contains all the books and prep material of GRE and GMAT in the comment section. GRE test is required for admission to most graduate schools like arts, science, social science, and a growing number of business schools. According to US News, 93% of the business schools worldwide accept GRE as an alternative to GMAT, whereas GMAT test is specially designed only for the business school. Now, which one you should take depends on many factors. First, know your goal. If you want to apply to business school, but you are not sure that you might also apply to other programs like MS or PhD in economics, statistics, development studies, data science, I would say go after GRE. But if you are determined that you will apply only to business school, or your intended program require GMAT or prefer GMAT to GRE, then go after GMAT. Style of the exam: GRE test is question adaptive, which means that if you answer the first question right, second question is going to be difficult. If you answer the second question right, third question is going to be more difficult. Similarly, if you answer the first question wrong, second question is going to be easy. If you answer the second question wrong, third question is going to be a lot more easier. The implication of this adaptive exam is that GMAT gives more weight to the difficult question. As a result, if two persons answer the same percentage of question right, one might get significantly higher score than the other because maybe the first person has answered most of the difficult question right. During GMAT, you cannot skip the question. You must answer all the question. You must answer the question before going to the next question. And GMAT does not allow you to use the calculator during the exam. On the other hand, how GRE test is conducted. GRE is section adaptive. In each section, there are 20 questions, and each question carries same weight. During the exam, you can go back and forth within a section. For example, you may skip the difficult question and answer easy question first, and then come back later to answer the difficult question that you have left earlier. This is not possible in GMAT. In GRE test, you can use the calculator in the math section, which is not possible in GMAT. Now, which one you should take? My advice is this: if you feel stressful during the exam and have time management issue during the exam, I would say go after GRE. And finally, know your strength. On the math side, GMAT math is relatively more difficult than the GRE math. On the verbal side, GRE is partially dependent on testing many obscure and difficult words, where GMAT verbal is partially dependent on testing some specific kind of grammar. So if you are good at math and like the critical thinking stuff, go after GMAT. However, if you are not very good in math or have strength in English, go after GRE. Again, if you think that you are very good at math and you are well into the critical reasoning stuff, take the GMAT. But if you are not very good in math or you have strength in English, like you like English reading, you are used to read novels and other stuff in English, go after GRE. Exam format. In GMAT, there is only one 30-minute essay, which is scored from 1 to 6. Whereas in GRE, there are two 30-minute essay questions, which is scored from 1 to 6. GMAT test includes a section called integrated reasoning, which is basically based on table, graph, and numeric analysis, whereas GRE does not test such integrated reasoning. One section in GMAT, there is one quant section that includes 31 questions that you have to answer in 62 minutes, whereas in GRE there are two quant sections. Each section contains 20 questions that you have to answer in 35 minutes. Verbal section. In GMAT, there is one verbal section that includes 36 questions that you have to answer in 65 minutes. Whereas in GRE, there are two verbal sections. Each includes 20 questions that you have to answer in 30 minutes. Scoring system. GRE score ranges from 200 to 800. The minimum you can get 200. The maximum you can get 800. Whereas in GRE is scored from 260 to 340. The minimum you can get 260 and the maximum you can get 340. Quant 170 and verbal 170, and each section is reported separately. And I have to mention that in both GRE and GMAT, writing part is not included in your total score. For example, if someone says that he scored 700 or 320 in GRE, in that score, writing score is not included. GMAT cost you $250 for registration and GRE cost you $205 for registration. Now GMAT GRE quant section. Both GMAT GRE quant section test your quantability based on the following content or following sources: arithmetic, algebra, geometry, and word problem. GMAT GRE verbal section. In GRE, there are three types of questions: sentence completion, sentence equivalence, and reading comprehension, plus critical reasoning. This is a kind of short passage question. In GMAT, there are three types of questions: sentence correction, critical reasoning, and reading comprehension, which is common to the GRE section's reading comprehension. So, what is the sentence completion? In sentence completion, you will be given 2 to 3 sentences with 1 to 3 blank. You have to choose word from the options that will logically complete the sentence. For this type of question, you need to know the meaning and context of the sentence and meaning of the vocabulary. Sentence equivalence. In this type of question, you will be given 2 to 3 sentences with 1 blank. You have to choose 2 similar words from the 6 options that will logically complete the sentence. For this type of question, you need to know the meaning and context of the sentence and vocabulary. Reading comprehension. There will be 2 types of reading comprehension. One is long passages and another is short passage or logical reasoning. So as you can see the distribution of the question: 6 questions from the sentence completion, 4 from the sentence equivalence, and 10 from the comprehension. In GMAT, so you will have question 1/3 from the sentence correction. It is basically about testing your ability to correct the grammar. Unlike the conventional grammar, GMAT tests very specific kind of grammar like modifier, dangling modifier, pronoun, antecedent, placement of the modifier, and logical meaning. Critical reasoning. In this type of question, you will have a prompt that will present some sort of argument then you need to analyze the argument. Sometimes you have to strengthen the argument, weaken it, or finding the underlying assumption in the argument. And conclusion. Reading comprehension. So here, just like the GRE, you will have two types of comprehension, long passage and short passage. I'll talk about this. So if you're new to the GRE preparation, how do you start your quant preparation? Here is my advice. Start with the math concept book, Manhattan, Kaplan, Princeton, or Magoosh, or any concept book. I would prefer Manhattan or Magoosh. These concept books will give you good foundation of math topics, formula, how concepts are tested. Once you are done, then move to ETS official GRE books to get the feeling of how the real question look like, difficulty level of the real question, and how official questions are tested. In addition, for more practice, you may go through Manhattan 5LB, so it has like thousands of questions for practice, or Princeton practice book. It has around 2000 questions for practice. During the practice, mark the question that you are struggle to answer so that someday you can review those questions one more time. During your practice session, it is very important that you identify your weak spot and practice more on those weak areas from different sources. Give mocks or practice exam in between the practice session to get a true sense of how far away you are from the target. If you are behind your target by a big margin, it means that you have to intensify your effort. For example, you are targeting 320, but you are getting 308, 310. It means that you are far away from your target. So you have to work harder, perhaps a little bit more time. Just know that if you cannot get the target score on the mock exam, it is near to impossible that you can hit the target score in the actual exam. But if you can hit the target in mock 2 to 3 times, then it is very likely that you can actually hit the target on the actual exam. You have to give some full-length mock. For full-length mock, make sure that you seriously take the official ETS2 free mock test. They are known as PEEP1 and PEEP2. ETS has 3 mock tests more which you have to buy, and I would suggest, if possible, buy other 3 paid mock tests from the ETS, because these mock tests have been designed to reflect the real exam, and all the questions in that mock are taken from the previous exam. So if you give the mock, make sure that you give the mock in exam condition and in one sitting. This will help you to build your exam stamina, to manage your time during the exam, and most importantly, to find your weak spot and boost your confidence in the real exam. Your success to GRE verbal depends on 2 factors: your vocabulary and your reading comprehension ability. So for vocabulary, I would suggest memorize the Magoosh 1009 word list. Then you can memorize Kaplan's 500 word list, Manhattan's 500 word list, and Barron's high frequency 333 word list. Once you are done with the Magoosh 1009 word list, you will see that rest of the vocab are almost 80 to 90% common. For English comprehension ability, I would suggest practice from the GRE books, reading comprehension and sentence completion section. Thoroughly practice from the ETS official book. So ETS has 2 books. One is the ETS official book, and another one is for the verbal. Once you are done, you can also practice from the GMAT's reading comprehension, because they are very good for practice. For doing well in the GRE, it is very important that you have a very good reading ability. You can quickly and comprehensively understand any passage or any article. For that, you need to practice reading regularly. You can read from different sources like The Economist magazine, New York Times, Scientific American. I am telling these sources because their English is very standard and GRE writing are similar to them, so you can follow them. There are also other sources, so you can also follow them. My advice for the GMAT Quant. My advice for the GRE Quant will apply here, so you can follow the advice that I have given for the GRE Quant. I would add one more point. If you are aiming for 90 percentile in the GMAT Quant, you have to be very good in Quant. I would advise you that you can follow the GMAT Club's web page. So they will have lots of questions, thousands of questions. Many of them are very difficult. So you can follow the website and see how people are responding, how people are approaching the problem from different angle. Here, I would recommend buying the GMAT Club's mock test. So GMAT Club mock test has around 20 mock tests for the quant section, and most of the questions are 700 level. So if you give all the quant tests in GMAT Club and solve them with explanation, I think that you should be okay to get 49 to 51 in the quant section. Brief advice for the GMAT Barbell. As I said earlier, GMAT Barbell consists of three sections or three types of question: sentence correction, critical reasoning, and reading comprehension. For sentence correction, I would advise start with the Manhattan Sentence Correction book. This is the best book for the sentence correction so far in the market. Once you are done with the Manhattan Sentence Correction book, you will see that all the rules and types of questions that are tested in the real GMAT, you already know. Then you start practice from the official GMAT. I would like to tell you here that there are lots of material on the sentence correction in the market, and most of the questions are different from the way that official GMAT tests the sentence correction. If possible, refrain from the other sources. For critical reasoning, I would say start with the PowerScore GMAT Critical Reasoning Bible book. This book is the best for the sentence correction strategy. And once you are done with this book, then you can start practicing from the official GMAT book. For reading comprehension question, solve all the official GMAT reading comprehension question and keep practicing on reading articles from different sources such as The Economist, New York Times, Washington Post, or the Scientific American. After doing all of this, if you still find that Barbell is very challenging for you, I heard from many people that many find the eGMAT Barbell Prep is very helpful. eGMAT Barbell Prep has the highest rating in the GMAT Club Prep review. So if you have money and you are struggling with the Barbell section, I would say consider buying the eGMAT's Barbell Prep. For full-length mock, make sure that you seriously take the official GMAT's 2 free mock tests. Official GMAT or MBA.com has 3 additional mocks and question bank, and these are all from the past real question. If money is not the problem, I would highly recommend to buy those paid mock tests and question bank. If you want to practice more and give more mock tests, consider buying Manhattan's GMAT mock test. It has 6 full-length mock tests and they are very good for practice. Usually Manhattan's mocks quant section is relatively tougher than the official GMAT, but if you practice them, it will prepare you better for the real exam. For both GMAT and GRE, your success on the Barbell section heavily depends on your ability to understand the reading comprehension. So if you want to do well in the Barbell section, here is my few advices. When you read any passage, whether from books or magazine or newspaper, consider this. If you are to summarize the 30 to 50 line passage or paragraph in 1 or 2 line, what would be that 1 or 2 line? This is the summary or main purpose of the passage. Almost every passage will have a main purpose question like this. Practice it regularly. When you read a passage or comprehension, try to understand the tone of the passage, whether the author is negative about the story, positive about the story, or he is just neutral. After reading the passage, try to recognize how different paragraphs of the passage relate to one another or fit together. If writer uses any quotes or example in the passage, try to understand what purposes that example serves to the main idea of the passage. And finally, when you read passage, try to read on topics that are unfamiliar to you. This is because you might be good at reading on familiar topics like business, economics, movies, sociology, but you might be struggling on unfamiliar topics like earth crust, galaxy, biology, plant. So try to build your comprehension ability by reading beyond your comfort zone. Initially, this would be tough or discomforting, but as you practice reading beyond your comfort zone, you will realize that your reading skills are improving gradually. So that's it from me on this video. Thank you.